Hey everybody, Jeff Joyner here. And today I want to tell you the story about the life lesson I learned while watching a presentation about how to build gravel roads. Before I do, make sure if you enjoy these videos to subscribe to this channel, hit the notifications bell so you can be notified when I release new videos. So, as you may know, I do speaking and training all around the country. I have worked in 49 different states, thousands of events. Just last week, I was in South Dakota. I've done events on the east side of South Dakota, but this was over on the west side. Never been over there. And so got a chance to see and do some cool things. I did some hiking at Wind Cave National Park, which is one of the coolest places I've ever been. It kind of blew me away, no pun intended. Also at Badlands National Park, saw Mount Rushmore, where I've never been. Got a chance to check that out, which was really cool. And my speaking event was in Deadwood, South Dakota, which you may have heard of as kind of a famous, old west cowboy town. And as I'm driving into town, right on the side of the road, there's these bighorn sheep standing there, and I'm like, it's cooler than anything I saw at the national parks. Although I saw some bison up close. That was pretty cool. But, and so I got a chance to just walk around and hang out in Deadwood. Here's a quick little video I shot with the snow falling in Deadwood, South Dakota. All right, I'm in Deadwood, South Dakota on a beautiful snowy night. And gonna get some dinner here at the number 10 casino and restaurants where Wild Bill Hickok was shot. Famous place. Totally cool place. But I was in town to speak I was the keynote speaker for an annual conference of the South Dakota Association of County Highway Superintendents. Maybe you never heard of these people. I never heard of them either until they contacted me. And, really, really great organization. These are the people that build, maintain, the thousands of miles of county roads in South Dakota and more than 1,000 bridges that they're in charge of, mostly civil engineers in these positions. And they have an annual conference. And they had contracted me to do some speaking on the stuff that I'm a specialist. I don't know anything about engineering or roads. And I told them that up front. I'm more the people side of the business world, customer service, attitude, teamwork, leadership, selling skills. And they were like, yes, 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 that's what we need some help in. And so I was all set up to be the keynote speaker. So I'm in the room that morning. And on the agenda before me was somebody doing a 90-minute presentation about gravel. I'm thinking, man, this is clearly going to be boring. And, perfect to have a really boring presentation before mine because people are ready to be entertained and to laugh. And so that's what I was expecting. Well, this guy gets up there. And he's an expert on gravel roads. I mean, he's more expert on gravel roads than I'm expert on anything. And starts giving this presentation about things to be thinking about and aware of when you're building a gravel road. And I got to tell you, it wasn't boring. It was fascinating. I couldn't believe how interesting it was. And he starts going into the different sizes of gravel. And he's got these different sieves, these filters for measuring, gravel girth and different types of bonding agents and what you would lay down and, before you pour the gravel and the cost per truckload of gravel and how different kinds of gravel filter water differently, and some strategies for building a gravel road will only last you 2 or 3 years, and the people in your county aren't going to like that. You want one that's going to last 8 to 10 years, but there's a bigger investment for that. And how you want a hump in the road and to be able to make the water flow, and how you would make decisions on what kind of gravel that you want based on how many heavy trucks are going on that road and how often. And I'm telling you, I was blown away with how much there is to know. And the part that got to me, here's the life lesson part. I was deeply convicted when I was sitting there that I never thought about gravel roads before. I've been driving on gravel roads since I was a teenager. Thousands of times I've driven down a gravel road and totally took for granted the fact that some really smart, really hardworking people built this road for me to drive on. Not just gravel roads, every kind of road. I don't really, and I just was, these people are taking notes, and this is serious business that they're doing. And learning this information could, determine whether they have success or failure in their roles, as county officials. And I just was like overcome with a sense of humility that, oh my gosh, and I really, I'm trying to think, like, where did I think gravel roads came from? I think I kind of just thought they were there. If it's not paved, it's gravel. Think about the fact of how expensive that is and how difficult that is and how somebody designed that with purpose and made some difficult decisions. And so I got up there and I told these people, I said, I was blown away by the gravel presentation. And it just really got me thinking about all of the things. The street right out here in front of my house, is somebody paved that road, and somebody laid the plumbing underneath this house that when I flush the toilet, I just take for granted, whoosh, that poop is going. So, but somebody designed that. The electricity in the wiring in this house, everything everywhere was designed by people for my convenience and yours. And I think we take it for granted. I know I do. And so, I don't know, maybe I'm in a place in my life where I'm on an extra grateful kick. But I'm so grateful for the people that make the roads and the people who build the bridges and the people that put up the stop signs and the stoplights and let's be positive, the go lights, because they're green just as often as they're red, I think. And so, and the people that put the windows in my house and, and built this microphone and everything else. I'm super appreciative. I think we're very fortunate to live in this time in history where, life is easier. Just even when I got on the plane, that I could fly from, South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota, and fly back to Ohio and be back at my house in just a couple of hours for a trip that would have taken people weeks, just 100 years ago. And when I get here, take a nice hot shower, which nobody had in the history of the world until about 100 years ago. And so that's the moral of the story. And that's my challenge to you is to try to take fewer things for granted. Try to be more thankful. I know I'm thankful for the gravel road people, for the South Dakota Association of County Highway Officials. And actually was a really great meeting. I met some awesome people out there. Hopefully I get a chance to work with more organizations like that in the future.